This week begins with Gaudete Sunday. Gaudete means rejoice, and it comes from the words of St. Paul, rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. And you may ask, why are we rejoicing, especially in these difficult times and what's been a really difficult term? Well, we rejoice because of the coming of Jesus, the coming of God, who is close to us. And of course, there are three comings. The first is the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem. The second coming, when Jesus returns in all of his glory and brings everything to completion. But there is a third coming, which is really important, especially for us today, because it is the coming of Jesus into our hearts today. This is a really important moment, to, as the Gospel says, to keep staying awake, to have our eyes open. St. Benedict says, open your eyes to the light that comes from above. Throughout this time of Advent, we've been hearing all of the readings from the prophet Isaiah, and he speaks continuously about how the barren lands will be turned into places of rivers welling up, and how the desert will give way to springs of water coming from the depths of the earth. He says, in the wilderness will be transformed into orchards of acacia trees and juniper and olive groves and cypress and all sorts of beautiful plants and life. The desert places will indeed rejoice. And it seems strange, doesn't it? But it's precisely in these difficult, these arid places, these places of such dryness and emptiness, that God appears. This is the miracle of God's presence. So we have these images of water in the desert, but there's also the very profound image of light in the darkness. I came across recently a big burial mound which was made 3,200 years before the birth of Christ in Ireland, in County Meath, at Newgrange. And it's only at this time of the year, from this time of the month until Christmas, that the light shines in such a way that the light penetrates right into the heart of the burial tomb and lights up and illuminates all of the paving stones right to the center. And it gave me a wonderful thought about how, when we look at all the dry, empty parts of our life, the things which are dead, the things which are arid, the dark places, the things in our life which seem entombed. Advent is the time when Christ breaks into all of these places and brings his light into these places of darkness, into the places of fear and anxiety in our life. So what is dead inside each one of us today? What is dried out? What has become empty of meaning and hopeless? What has become difficult and burdensome? Let's be alert in these times of Advent, because the Lord is close to us. And let us open up those places that the Lord may come close and we may experience that salvation is near at hand.